Wouldn't it be nice if all of our streams and rivers had water looking like this, with free, flowing, clear water, and not like this, which contains sediment from uncontrolled erosion, which kills fish and other species? This video demonstrates a solution on a grand scale for preventing pollution in our streams. Erosion, even at its smallest level, is pollution at the source and impacts what happens to the water quality downstream. Some are concerned about the potential overreach of various governing agencies. However, a baseline to protect the environment is necessary. Just think about the condition of our streams and rivers if there were no guidelines and governance regarding water pollution. This site is typically called a landfill, and it is also called a borrow pit. Here you see clean, clay-type soil being loaded, and which is then used for construction purposes, such as creating a solid base for foundations, roads, or embankments. Anytime land or dirt is disturbed, it can result in water pollution into our lakes, streams, and rivers. The term borrow comes from the idea that the material is borrowed and will eventually be replaced later with non-toxic fill, such as concrete, cleared timber, and non-toxic construction materials, but not toxic items such as chemical compounds like paint. Unfortunately, it was necessary to remove the trees and associated topsoil in order to get down to the good, clean fill dirt. This exposed the clay soil for erosion to occur directly into the area streams. You're now watching the restoration of a silt settling pond. This settling pond was constructed to prevent water pollution as required by two federal environmental agencies, the EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, and the Army Corps of Engineers. The Army Corps of Engineers has the responsibility to regulate activities involving the discharge of fill material into wetlands and streams. The Army Corps requires permitting, which mandates erosion and sediment controls. This permit is called a 404 permit. The EPA issues an NPDES permit, which stands for National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System. This permit is required if a construction site disturbs more than 1 acre of land. As part of the NPDES permit, the landowner must develop a stormwater pollution prevention plan. So, in general, the Army Corps of Engineers is responsible for water pollution external to the site, which include wetlands, streams, and rivers, while the EPA is responsible for all pollution within the site, such as business landfill and individual private property exceeding 1 acre. Please note that the state and local governments may also impose environmental jurisdictional regulations. The video we're currently watching is a result of the owner's NPDES permit plan to minimize soil erosion and prevent sediment from entering the local stream. As seen here, the rejuvenation of a settling pond is part of the owner's best management practice. Let's just sit back and watch this amazing waltz. This is an operational settling pond. The water first enters a moat which partially surrounds the perimeter of the settling pond. Partial settlement occurs in the moat, and the goal is to have as little sediment as possible enter into the settling pond. Water is channeled from the moat into the upper right side of the pond and then passes through 3 fences which trap the sediment while allowing water to flow through. At the far upper left end of the settling pond, the clear water is taken off the top of the pond with a floating skimmer. After all of the excavation of an area in the landfill, the owner continues to perform best management practices and install erosion control blankets and grass seed to stabilize the soil and promote vegetation growth to eliminate soil erosion in the future. Here you see a restored area in the landfill which contains a large deposit of soil in the center. This area contains the sediment which was removed from a restored settling pond. The soil will be dewatered and eventually used for the restoration of other areas within the property. In summary, the owner of this landfill has performed excellent best management practices and preserved the quality of water entering the surrounding streams for future generations.